Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully everyone is doing really well today. Today is going to be a quick little video on my plant log that I keep for all of my house plants and even the plants that I keep outside. Basically this is just a dollar store clipboard that I got, and I just use some acrylic paint, of course, just to jazzy it up for myself. Of course, I always have to be extra. I have a folder here just to keep them from bending or tearing because they are hard copy. I did previously have these guys on my computer, but my computer did some strange things and I didn't want to lose all of these because there's quite a few papers in here. And I didn't want to lose all the information, and I didn't want to have to try to re-guess everything. And as you can see, what I have is just some regular protectors. All of these things you can get from the dollar store if this is something that you choose to do. Just a regular sheet protectors, and each protector has written on the side crested cactus, or this one is all of my aloes, this one is all of my haworthias, and so on and so forth. Each different kind of plant. I have one for dracaenas, one for dieffenbachia. Each one has their own section, and inside of these I keep the different ones. Now, out of my crested one, I actually pulled this just as an example so you can see what I have at the top. So basically I have their personal name that I gave them, which we all know are questionable names. I have reasons behind all the personal names I give them, so guys, don't laugh at me too hard. Okay, and then you have their scientific name, and then you have their commonly given name, where I got it from, when I potted it, and any small note from when I potted it. And then each date after that, which are all in July, because this one is a fairly new one. Excuse me. This one is a fairly new one. Basically gives information about something that went on with that plant. So for instance, for the first entry, when it was potted, basically it says, you know, all is well, it's newly potted, and I watered it in really well because it was very dry. And when I write these small notes, I can kind of think back, and then, you know, I remember, because once your collection starts to get so large, it's kind of hard to remember, you know, and keep track of, you know, little specific things. And most people won't even bother with this, but for me, because I do have two small children that I'm caring for, well, they're not really small, they'll always be my babies, but because I have two little girls that are school age that I'm caring for, and I have other things that go on in my life, it's kind of convenient for me to keep a log of the different plants that I have and different needs. That way, you know, for instance, I moved them recently, which is actually the second entry. I moved the plants, and they seem to be doing well. They seem to be liking their new location. So if I was to move them again and they started to take a turn for the worse, I would be able to say, you know, from July such and such to, you know, let's say December, they were doing fine. In December, when I moved them, they're now doing bad. So maybe it's the area, maybe it's the atmosphere, maybe it's the heat, maybe it's not getting enough heat, maybe it's not getting enough light. Also, you know, I put in there, you know, that I watered it really well. Maybe I'm giving it too much water and I'm noticing a color change, or, you know, just small little things. And there's also in here, I have one that's for expired plants that are no longer with us. For instance, I had a smaller rubber tree plant, a Ficus elastica, and it was a smaller one that I wanted to get as big as my other one. So I went ahead and thought, hey, let's put it outside, because driving through my husband's hometown one day, I saw someone that had one out on their front porch, and it was huge. It was beautiful. It looked so healthy and so nice and so wonderful. And I was like, hey, let me put mine out and see if the sun will do it good, because I noticed that my other one got quite large from being in a sunny window, and get more direct sun than the other plants have been getting. So I was like, okay, let's throw them outside. The ants and gnats and squirrels and birds tore that poor thing apart. there were literally bite marks in the leaves, and I had previously treated it with neem oil, you know, to kind of deter some of the bugs and whatnot, and it was torn apart. So that guy is no longer with us, and I couldn't save it because of the fact that I thought I could. I rinsed all the soil off. I plucked, you know, the leaves off to try to restart it. And for some reason, there were some sort of mites that kept coming out of the plant, and I didn't want it to infect my other plants. So I just kind of gave up on the poor guy, and he went to Plant Heaven to avoid any damage to my other guys. So basically, the point that I'm making is that is an entry that I would put at the bottom of that one after, you know, I put it into the expired plant file, which is not very large, thank the Lord. I'm getting better. But anyway, basically a note that the last entry that I put on that one was, you know, to make sure that in the area that I live right now, not to put it outside, because, you know, this damage can, you know, be caused. So this is basically just a personal thing, you know, it's not a necessity, you know. Hopefully this was helpful to someone. All of these things, like I said, you can get from the dollar store. It doesn't have to be this extra. You can just keep a notebook. If you notice anything that is helping or harming your plants, write it down, jot it down. Any specific watering habits. I noticed in another video that someone had posted, she was stating how one of her pothos was drinking more water basically than the other ones. They're the same exact plant. One is like in different lighting conditions than the other one, you know. So write it down, keep track of your guys. That'll help them to grow and help them to be a lot healthier. It may seem like, you know, something small, something silly to do, but, you know, just a little note, just, you know, to keep yourself reminded, to help your plants do the best that they can. So hopefully this was helpful to someone. Hopefully it gave you an idea to vary it. You can, you know, alter it to whatever your needs may be. Notebook, you can just have a little scrap piece of paper, a little napkin, whatever. It doesn't have to be all of this. And hopefully this will help someone out. And you guys have a great day. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.